Hello there. The BCCI for quite some time now had been planning to host a Tier-2 tournament, something similar on the lines of IPL, but not exactly a product like the IPL. For the longest time, they weren't very sure how they wanted to go about, and finally, over the last couple of months, is when the idea began to develop, within the cricket board's, kind of higher circles, that there might be a window available between the months of September and October, to host a tournament which is white ball in nature and can cater to the tier 2 ecosystem, one level below the IPL. And While it will do good for the game itself, what it will also do is, it will try and attract tier 2 advertisers and sponsors, those who may want to spend a little less than what the IPL category demands. So, and there is a massive space, to have something on those lines, and that is something that the BCCI had been identifying for a while. There were other questions in mind. For example, whether they would have this as a franchise-based tournament, like the IPL is. And yes, it does make sense to have a franchise-based tournament because obviously that is now the future. Club cricket has to be the future going forward. But in that, again, the BCCI was in a dilemma whether franchisees need to be sold separately, which means a new tender needs to be floated, or the existing IPL franchisees need to be given, the teams. Now, it so happens that in the existing contract between the BCCI and the franchisees, there is a clause that says that should the Indian Cricket Board launch anything similar is the catchword here, important word. Launch anything similar to the IPL, the first rights of refusal to hold a team will stay with the existing franchisees. So the BCCI will have to go to these franchisees and first give them this offer, and I don't see any reason why most of them are not going to lap up. Second, there is only that much window available in an annual calendar, which is already packed. If you started from the months of Jan and Feb, you're looking at two private T20 tournaments already happening in South Africa and in the UAE. That is followed quickly by obviously the Women's Premier League and the IPL, and it is in the months of February and March that India tries to host bilateral cricket at home, and followed by IPL. The IPL immediately begins after March, towards the end of March, and then that ends towards the end of May, and by then cricket all over the world stops because of the lower hemisphere and the weather patterns. It's only England where cricket is on in the months of June, July, August and September. That window is exclusively available to them. We'll come to that later, and there is another development building there. Now, immediately after the English summer gets over, the months of September, towards the end, October and November, those 3 months are potentially good months for any new property to step in, because right now those months are kind of occupied by random bilateral cricket, which is not selling, which broadcasters don't want to buy. There are not much commercials involved there. Much of the cricket is irrelevant, random, and we have been talking for a while now about the so-called death of ODI cricket. So keeping all of those perspectives in mind, this window was available. This is the window which BCCI wants to make use, because you go a little further after November, then Australia's home season begins towards the Boxing Day and early January, and again that's a time when Australia doesn't like to travel. So this is the only window available, and there had been an underlying fight between the BCCI and the ICC for the longest time as to who would go ahead and occupy this window. And BCCI clearly wants to take charge here. And to quickly conclude this, right now they are contemplating the idea of a T10 tournament. There are takers for it. and there are people who don't like the idea. But again, I mean, BCCI has been studying the space for long, and they truly think that there is potential. See, they can't start another T20 model so easily, because it will eat into the IPL's business. So they have to be very careful that the new property that comes up does not eat into the existing business models and revenue models. So for that, they might even introduce an age cap in the new tournament. Who knows? As I said, they are still planning, and watch out for the next couple of months. A lot of plans are going to be ready, and as they are on this platform, I'm going to keep you updated from time to time. Thank you.